Hello, welcome to Self-Care Simplified. Welcome. It's been a while. I'm going to let everyone just slowly trickle in. I'm going to pin my comment here. Let me see if I still... Okay. There, comment pinned. Good afternoon. It's afternoon for me here in sunny Los Angeles. Happy fall. Haven't seen you guys for a while. So happy to be doing this live with you today, and we are going to be talking about work-life balance, which seems to be the ever elusive thing we are all in search of and on the hunt for. So that is going to be the focus for today, and we have an amazing new meditation series that's available on our Chopra app. Shout out to everybody that does the daily meditations with us, myself, Roger, Gabriel, Deepak, of course. Such a beautiful, beautiful app. So many resources. We also just launched on the app the dosha quiz. So a big part of the work that we do here at Chopra is 100% rooted in Ayurveda. And so when you know your dosha type, it really helps you, whether you're pitta, vada, or kapha. It really helps you in your practice, and it can revolutionize your life. So that is now available on the app as well in the iOS store. Would love to take a second to see where everybody is checking in from. I'm in Southern California. It is sunny. It's beautiful afternoon on a Wednesday. Where is everyone else? I see Iran. I see Rome. I see South Africa. Beautiful. Thank you for checking in. Always such a joy to see how we can come together from so many places in the world. And it always inspires me to see where people are from and so many places I'd love to visit. Jupiter, Florida, Vancouver, Texas, awesome, Cape Town. Go ahead and keep dropping those in. And I want to go ahead, I would love to make this Self-Care Simplified just a little bit more interactive. So we're going to be going through some thoughts and some tips around especially mindful awareness for your workday. So as we're starting to get back into the workflow, many of us are still working from home. Some of us are headed back to the office. Some of us never left. Go ahead and drop some questions. I think there's an opportunity to, like, one of the buttons you hit, you can ask a question. So if there's any specific questions that you are experiencing and would like some insight on as it relates to your spiritual practice, to mindfulness and the workplace, go ahead and drop it, and I'm going to try to do a scroll and make sure that I can answer some specific questions. All right, let's get going. So my name is Debbie Brown. I host Self-Care Simplified right here on our Chopra app. So we have many Instagram TVs that you can check out. I'm also the Chief Impact Officer at Chopra Global. And I'm the voice of daily meditation on our beautiful app. So hope you join us there. We also do Self-Care Simplified on Clubhouse. So shout out to everybody that has been joining us there. We will be having a Clubhouse conversation with some special guest speakers and some Chopra teachers tomorrow on the Clubhouse app. So in our linkin.bio, you're able to connect with us there and go ahead and get going in that room. Clubhouse has been so much fun and a really cool space to expand on conversation with some other voices. So that is what we are doing there. And today we're focused on mindful awareness for your workday. So right now in the app, there is a 10-part meditation series. All the meditations are about 10 minutes or under. Oh, thank you. I'm seeing some questions coming in. Beautiful. And I will go ahead and read through for you what some of the meditations are on, and really just take a second and see if any of these will fit maybe one of the desires or one of the needs that's currently in your life. So in our 10-part meditation series, Mindful Awareness for Your Workday, we're doing Permission to Be Well, Workplace Well-Being, Relieve Work Stress, Communicate Your Well-Being Needs. That is a big one in the workplace now. Find Life-Work Balance, Focus at Work, Creativity at Work, Conflict resolution at work, and find meaning in your work. And finally, the last part of that 10-part series is Lead with Intention. So we really try to hit so many different ways that we experience ourselves within the things that we do for work, within our dharma, within our titles, within the way that we show up for people. So it could be a really good experience to join us there. Okay, we are focused today on mindful awareness for your workday, but specifically, let's talk about some tips to relieve workplace stress. So I want to share some of the beautiful ways I've been exploring my own spiritual practice as it relates to what we now call the new normal we've all been adjusting to for really the last 2 years and beyond. And so when we think about how we show up at work, I know that it is going to be a little bit of a jarring experience for those that are coming back into resettling in the workplace after potentially, if you were working from home and going through everything you needed to get used to what that felt like, working in isolation, and now slowly coming around people more, really checking in with these companies and finding ways to support ourselves in this moment in time and in our lives and in our work. So spiritual practice is one of the most important and powerful ways that you can really support yourself, support your work, but more importantly, support your dharma. And your dharma, loosely translated from Sanskrit, and we have a beautiful series on this on the app as well. Your dharma, it's more than what you do for work, though they can come together sometimes. Your dharma is your mission in life. It's your deepest truth. It is the piece of you that is innately the gifts that you are meant to share with the world. And so sometimes we find that it matches up with how we're also able to earn money, and that's always great. And sometimes it really presents itself in so many other ways. But having a strong daily mindfulness practice, I refer to it as a spiritual practice, is a way to really make sure that you can be all of you wherever you are. And you're able to show up as the most authentic version of you. Sometimes we do, what can be referred to as, personality switching, where we become whatever we think that environment needs from us, or we kind of shift and change our personality based on where we are in the world, if it's in the workplace, if it's with our families, if it's somewhere, at the store, at our homes. But it means a lot of different compartmentalizing of self. It means a lot of different personalities that are called to emerge. And so when we're able to really build a supportive practice for ourselves, we find that there's ease in that integration. We're not split into versions, but we're able to summon forward different tools that are necessary in each moment. And so when we build that daily practice, it alleviates sometimes what we experience as the projections of other people, the stressors of work. Sometimes, the workplace, not for nothing, it's the convergence of so many different personality types, so many different people who have really uniquely experiences from their own lives and their own wounds. And sometimes our wounds go up against everyone else's wounds, and then the experience can feel toxic or frustrating or stressful. And so when we build that practice, we're able to stay in ourselves so that we don't feel constantly pulled or changed or manipulated into other ways of being. So what that can look like if you are working from home or if you're going into the office, that can really look like waking up in the morning, whether it is 5 minutes or you have maybe a luscious hour to work with as your spiritual practice. It's really about what is most serving to you and your needs. So what can feel good is starting with maybe a basic buffet menu of things to do each morning, each evening, or maybe in the afternoons, depending on your flow. And things that are great to make that list, always number one, meditation. Amazing. Whether you do it on your own in a solo practice, you join us on the app, get a nice guidance for you, maybe have some nice music. Also movement with your body. So that can look like a workout, or it can look like taking time to really stretch. Let me sit here and move my neck and move my body, see how I feel, see where those feelings are landing inside of me. And I also strongly recommend journaling. It can be such a powerful ally on the journey, and it doesn't have to represent full Dear Diary style. It can also just be bullet points if you noticed in your thoughts. A powerful tool that Deepak speaks to often and has been a beautiful focus in many of the books I love from him is recapitulating your day. So really taking the time before bed to go through your day and see where maybe there was some energetic charge for you. Have the opportunity to release it, unburden yourself from carrying around the stressors of being in motion with other human beings who are figuring it out as well. Or depending on the industry that you work in, sometimes maybe taking on too much energy from the people you're serving. Those are very real things, and that's why we have a practice to support us for the experiences of being human in this world. We are not going to be able to shut off everyone else. We are not always able to walk away from jobs when we want to, or walk away from people. But how can we make sure that we are feeling good about ourselves, that we are feeling seen, that we are feeling heard, even if it doesn't happen in our workplace? So that's what's really powerful about building that practice. It's not just about, the more mainstream and on-trend ways that we're starting to view wellness or mindfulness. It's really about making self-honoring choices for your soul, for your future, for your highest good, for your deepest needs, because you deserve it. And so when you start out with that basic menu, that could be a great way to begin. And then you start noticing, what is my unique recipe? What are the things that I'm actually craving and needing that I can give to myself? So maybe then you expand out your daily practice. Maybe it's that meditation, but maybe it's also playing some beautiful instrumentation or music, allowing yourself to dance in the mornings, allowing yourself to really have fun and move your body and really ignite that creative fire right there in your sacral chakra, that creative fire that is your expression in the world, that is your expression in your work, that makes you so unique and so rare in whatever it is that you do. Everything that we do in this world can be done with dignity, with honor, with reverence, with love, with an ability to unlock more of ourselves. Whether that is your dream job or just where you find yourself now, there is opportunity for those things. We just have to switch our lens sometimes to find a way to connect to that. So as we start to get more exciting with building out our daily practice, that can be the dance that I spoke to. That can be even when you're at work saying, I'm going to have lunch by myself maybe, and I'm going to make this a mindful lunch. I'm going to gently close my eyes as I eat. I'm going to hold silence for myself while I eat. Or it could be one of the practices I used when I first started meditating. I was still working in a very corporate structured environment. And so I would do my meditation in the morning, and then late afternoon, I would go into the parking structure of my office where I parked my car. And I would get in the car and I would close my eyes and I would put on some low music and I would allow myself to have my practice there. For some that are watching that may also be parents or may be coming home to stressful environments sometimes, that can look like parking down the street first. That can look like staying in your driveway. That can look like doing whatever you need to do to make sure that you are feeling good about you and your life, that you are feeling nourished, and you have the permission to do that in any moment that you need it. Now, if we're working from the office or we are working from home, one of my favorite things to do that has really been powerful for me has been taking time in between meetings. And big apologies, there seems to be quite a bit of noise on my street outside of my window, so we will just practice flow if you're hearing that. But something that I love to do in between meetings, whether that is physically in the world or if you're just on Zoom and online, in between, sometimes it's only 2 minutes, take a moment to pause. What does a pause look like? It can look like literally saying, I'm paused and I'm standing here, or I'm sitting here and I'm just going to be silent for a second. Or it can be introducing some breath work, maybe a simple box breath, 4-4-4. So that means 4 seconds you're deeply inhaling in, you're holding it at the top for 4 seconds, you're exhaling through your nose for 4 seconds, and then you're holding it at the bottom for 4 seconds. So we can try that now together if you have a chance. If it's safe for you to do this with me, I want to invite you to gently close your eyes right now. Take a moment to settle in And if you're at work, even better. And if you're not, I want you to just see how this feels, because it can be done in your office chair. It can be done in the chair at your home. It can be done standing. So take a moment, gently close your eyes. If you're seated, I want you to just notice your body and see if there is an opportunity to lighten the load anywhere. Maybe that is letting your shoulders fall. Maybe that is letting your seat settle in, maybe moving your hips a little. Maybe noticing your jaw, letting your jaw get a little more loose. Any pressures that you may be feeling, take a moment to melt, to relax. And now go ahead and begin your deep inhale in through your nose. Now holding it for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now exhaling through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now holding at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. And whenever you're ready, I want to invite you to return to your natural breath, whatever feels nourishing. And go ahead and gently open your eyes. So what we just did in that moment together was roughly 30 seconds or less. And I really want to illustrate that for you, because one of the biggest barriers we have sometimes to our own joy, our own healing, our own self-support is we think that we don't always have the time for it. Sometimes that is very real. Or we just have to creatively switch our lens on how we view time and how we view mindfulness. So for some of us, and I just saw a question that I really resonate with in the chat, which said, what if you're a stay-at-home mom? I can't seem to find the time. I hear you. I am the single mother of a 3-year-old child. And so I was really for a long time utilizing those nap moments, those very rare nap moments when they would come in to kind of fuel myself. Another thing that was helpful for me is noticing, what am I spending time on? And so I decided in the pandemic that I would give up television completely. Now, that's not possible for everyone, and there are some really powerful and amazing things to watch, but that's how I personally found time for myself. In the evenings after my child went to bed, my way of de-stressing, instead of turning on the television and just kind of, it was to just be in silence with myself and play some low music, to lower the lighting, to light a candle. Sometimes if I had enough time, it would be taking regular baths. But finding those pockets, it doesn't always have to look Instagrammable, and it doesn't always have to look in that mindfulness aesthetic that we're used to seeing. The pockets can be 1 or 2 minutes. The pockets can be wherever you can fit it in. If you just put in a load of laundry, if you just exited a meeting, it can be that moment in the driveway. But it is showing yourself how to make self-honoring choices. It is showing yourself how to show up for you and make yourself a priority. And there is nothing too small to do that. Even if it's making the decision to sprinkle in a little more joy and saying, I'm gonna add a little of my favorite seasoning on this, or I'm gonna get this special little thing for myself just because it makes me smile. It's really about, with whatever type of lifestyle you live, it does not have to be comparable to the way that other people do mindfulness or wellness, but how you personally live, taking the time to find your unique recipe of self-support and self-nourishment. Even if you have 3 minutes every day, play your favorite song for yourself for that 3 minutes and allow yourself to sing along at the top of your lungs. Whatever you need to do to fill your own heart and spirit with joy. So I want to also scroll in for a little bit. Oh, I love that someone just shared adding a little of that pumpkin spice into your lattes. Yes, it is fall. I also am feeling very fallish with my shades. So I'm going to do a quick scan, and then I have a couple other tips I want to pop in. Add a quick scan to make sure I can really sink into some questions. Beautiful. Thank you so much for these wonderful words. Another powerful tool that could be really beneficial would be to really sink into your affirmations. We've shared some powerful affirmations here at Chopra. We have an amazing amount of articles written by Chopra educators that's available on chopra.com that also speak to workplace well-being and speak to how to create powerful affirmations for yourself. And so in another video that we have within our Instagram TVs, I run through how to make an affirmation that is just for you. Now, sometimes we can use those affirmations like, I am love, I am free, I am well, I am perfect health. And sometimes we can create ones that really speak to what our specific experience is. So what that can look like is, it's getting a little loud outside. I want to just take a second. And hi. It's a little loud. All right. Such is life. So what that can look like is what you are. Yeah, I'm seeing that someone says, is that a weed whacker in the background? I believe it is. Apologies for that. But I also want to share it is possible, because we are in a world that sometimes is chaotic, to still find the peace and still find the focus in that. So bless the noise. Such is life. Chopra.com is the website. I just saw that question. We have amazing articles there, some just profound writing from Deepak, some incredible writing from Roger Gabriel, Dr. Sheila Patel, so many of our Chopra certified educators that are global resources for you. So that's available there. And again, our session on work-life balance specifically, there's a 10-part series in our app, and it's called Mindful Awareness for Your Workday. Yeah, I saw someone said more than 5,000 articles. Yes. Amazing work there. Okay, so far within our workplace well-being, we're talking about making a powerful daily practice for yourself, whatever that looks like. If it is 5 minutes, that is okay. Don't judge yourself. That's enough. If it is an hour, ooh, amazing. Sink into that. And what side have they moved to? One moment. Okay, guys, I am trying. This is a first for me. Trying to alleviate that noise for everyone. This is a first, but so when we're talking about work-life balance, we talked about daily practice, talked about breath work. So you can do that box breath, simple box breath, 4-4-4. You can also do the affirmations that I spoke of. And so think specifically as it relates to your work environment, and you can also make these for your home environment as well, but you can make this for your work environment. Think of the qualities you may want to invoke at work. So if that means like, I'm really looking to become a soul-led leader. I want to lead from my soul and maybe not from my stressors or my trigger. Or if perhaps it's, I want to be expansively creative in my work. I really want to unlock more depth to the way that I create, the way that I show up. You know, take a moment to think about that in meditation, to journal some thoughts of, if I could be more of myself, where I currently stand, that is also in service to my dharma, in service to who I'm becoming, in service to the greater work that I'll do in the world, not just this moment, what would that be? What are those things that you want to experience more of inside of yourself and inside of your workplace? It's different for each of us. For me, my creativity is very important to me. I really work to nourish my creative spirit, my sacral chakra. I do a lot of meditations around my sacral, around my solar plexus, which is the seat of our personal power, our personal will. You know, sometimes around your throat chakra, if you feel like you're not able to really speak for yourself enough at work, maybe you feel like you're not able to get all of your thoughts out, or you feel stifled in some ways, doing meditations where you're focused on your throat chakra. Looking up some exercises, again, our articles on Chopra.com, amazing resource. But we have very specific chakra meditations to really work with clearing and amplifying those spaces and any blockages that are keeping us from our full self. So when you're in that space, thinking of those affirmations. What do I want to summon forward? If creativity happens to be one of them, or if soul-led leadership happens to be one of them, or if you're looking to be more disciplined in your work, really putting some thought to the way you want to phrase those things with yourself can be a phenomenal ally and companion in the work that you do. So that can look like, I am expansively creative. I am fully expressed. I am a powerful soul-led leader. I lead from my spirit. I lead with integrity. I lead with dignity. I lead with honor. It can be, what was the other piece we were speaking to? It can be, I am joyfully disciplined in my work. It can also be, my work radiates out and helps people heal. My work touches the world in a meaningful way. However you'd like to be seen and known in whatever it is that you do, or whatever it is you were called to do, there's ways to support ourselves in that. The more we build that self-support, the less stress we experience, the more trust for ourselves and our intuition we experience, the more trust for the world we experience. So those are really powerful ways to start changing our lens of perception for how we relate to our work, how we relate to stress. So when people speak to, and there's so many articles in the world, I've seen this on so many magazines, I see this on so many podcasts, everyone says, work-life balance, how to have it all. Well, you can't have it all at once, not all at the same time. We're not meant to. Life is the ebb and flow, right? Like our human journey, our spiritual expression, the way that we come to know ourselves. It's about that divine ebb and flow. It's about that grace. But finding work-life balance, it's really about finding alignment within self. Nothing will ever be perfection. We will never be able to control everything. Very little, actually, if I'm being honest. But what a work-life balance really is, it's not about your work, it's not about your life, and then how you're making them come together. It's really about how are you being in inner alignment with yourself? How are you supporting and nourishing your own soul? When you do that, then you start to notice this divine harmony that happens, which can be experienced as a balancing, but it's more about the way that your life is now harmonizing together in a flow with each other. It's not about keeping everything equally balanced. I have enough for work, I have enough for home. It's about how do I make all the facets of who I am, which can be many, how do I bring them into a harmony that can always be experienced in an aligned order. So I hope that you found that useful. And again, I really want to invite you guys to check out our app. So everything that I'm speaking to right now, I go through in 10 parts on the app. So Chopra in your iOS store, very soon it will be available on Android. It is coming. But the series is called Mindful Awareness for Your Workday. It's 10 parts, so we can spend 2 workday weeks together in this. Let me join you on your journey as you get going, or let me support you in what you're already doing. And we go over permission to be well, workplace well-being, relieving work stress, communicate your well-being needs, how to really stand in more powerful communication, really standing in that solar plexus and that personal will, communicating your well-being needs, find life-work balance, focus at work, creativity at work, conflict resolution at work, find meaning in your work, and how to lead with intention. And so tomorrow on Clubhouse, we're going to be having an even more expansive talk around this subject. And we have beautiful special speakers that join us, teachers from all over the world that come together in this space. We have thousands of people in this room every Thursday. So if you're on the Clubhouse app, you'll just join us tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time in the Chopra Club. The Chopra Club on the app. We also have a link in our bio right here that on our Chopra page that you can join. So you can find us there. And kicking off next week, we're going to have another meditation series and conversations around fall rituals, which is something I'm really excited about because rituals are such powerful tools for the journey, turning most moments, all moments of your life into a way that can be ritualized is a powerful, powerful accelerator of your dharma, of the way that you experience your life. So I am excited to share that with you. If you want to connect with me, my Instagram is pinned right here at the bottom at Debbie Brown. And big love to do. I'll do a quick scan. How do you join Clubhouse? Link in bio. Download the Clubhouse app in iOS and Android, and then you'll just search for Chopra Club on there. And we do that every single Thursday in that beautiful room. So I hope you will check that out. And big love. Thank you for all the grace as it relates to that divine noise outside, divine chaos, and big love. Namaste.